Hello everybody, konnichiwa. Today's story is about a dragon and a naked lady. Take a look at this ukiyo-e print. It is called The Jewel-Taking Lady at the Dragon Palace, created in 1853 by the master artist Kuniyoshi. The scene is full of drama. The raging waves crash wildly, and here, do you see? The dragon appears, furious, rising from the sea. The ocean creatures are dressed in kimono, almost human-like, and they seem to be attacking this woman. She is the central figure, a half-naked woman holding a knife in one hand and a jewel in the other. But who is she? And why is she fighting against the dragon and sea creatures in this storm? A chaos of water and wind? This striking image inspired not only many ukiyo-e artists, but later became one of the most beloved motifs in traditional Japanese tattoo art. Today, let's dive into the story behind it, the legend of Tama-tori Hime, the jewel-taking lady. But before we begin the story of the jewel-taking lady, let me first explain the real-world background of the legend. The ama, fearless female skin divers, and fisherwomen. Ama are women who dive into the sea with no tools or breathing gear, gathering food directly from nature. It is one of the most ancient human practices, carried on in Japan for thousands of years. Today, the cultural value of this way of life is officially recognized as part of Japan's cultural heritage. Ama dive to collect shellfish, seaweed, abalone, and even treasures like pearls. Evidence of their existence in Japan goes back about 5,000 years to the Jomon period. The oldest written record of ama appears in the 3rd century in a Chinese chronicle called the Gishiwa Jinden. Over time, the work was even celebrated in Japanese poetry. By 1956, there were still around 17,000 ama in Japan, but their numbers declined. And by 2010, only about 2,000 remained. Today, traditional ama diving without modern diving gear survives only in Japan and on Korea's Jeju Island, nowhere else in the world. How do they dive? With a special breathing technique. Ama women can reach depth of 3 to 20 meters on a single breath. Why is it only women, you might ask? It is said that women's bodies with thicker layers of subcutaneous fat can better withstand the cold of the sea. I'm not sure. What do you think? For centuries, ama provided the delicacy of Japan's elite. Abalone served at banquets of samurai, shoguns, and even to gods, and pearls that everyone longed for. Ama also became famous in art, symbols of celebration and prosperity. They appeared in countless ukiyo-e woodblock prints, the popular entertainment media of Edo period Japan. These prints had to sell widely, and the fact that ama appears in them for more than 150 years shows how fascinated the public was. Their clothing, or more like their lack of clothing, added to their popularity. As censorship tightened and nude depictions of women were banned, artists turned to ama as a loophole, drawing them at work as just depicting daily life. In this way, ama continued to be portrayed, often with touches of bright red cloth for feminine allure or patterned fabrics that reflected the fashion trends of Edo. Amid this long tradition, one story of the ama stood out. A story touched people's heart more than any other. The legend of Tama-tori Hime. This lady in the ukiyo-e is ama called Tama-tori Hime. More than 1,300 years ago, there lived a powerful nobleman in Japan named Fujiwara no Kamatari. When Kamatari passed away, his daughter, Princess Byakko, was overcome with grief. She lived across the sea in China, where she had married the great emperor of the Tang dynasty. To honor her father's spirit, she decided to send 3 precious treasures across the sea to Japan. The first was the kagenke, a miraculous bell that would continue ringing until a monk's robe was placed upon it. The second was the shihinseki, an inkstone from which fresh water would spring whenever ink was ground upon it. And the third, most marvelous of all, was the jewel of Menko Fuhai. This jewel was unlike any other. Inside, it was a tiny image of the Buddha, and no matter which way one looked at it, front, back, or side, the Buddha's face was always turned toward the viewer. The phrase Menko Fuhai means perfect from every angle, flawless, and beautiful no matter how it is seen. But fate intervened. As the ship carrying these treasures approached the Bay of Shido in present-day Kagawa, the sky suddenly darkened. A furious storm arose, and one of the raging waves emerged a sea dragon god. With a sweep of its claws, the dragon seized the jewelry of Menko Fuhai and carried it down into the depths of the sea. The precious jewel was lost, and 10 years passed until Kamatari's son, Fujiwara no Fuhito, vowed to reclaim the jewel. Hiding his true identity, he traveled to Shido on his mission. There he met a beautiful young pearl armor diver, Tamamo. It's probably a long story, but I make it short here. Fuhito and Tamamo fell in love, and soon they had a son, a boy named Fusasaki. For some time they lived as a happy family, but one day Fuhito revealed the truth. I am the son of Kamatari. I came here to recover the jewel that the dragon god stole from my father's offering. Tamamo listened in silence, then replied with resolve. Then let me bring the jewel back. But in return, promise me that our son Fusasaki will be recognized as heir to the great Fujiwara family. With only a single rope tied around her waist, Tamamo plunged into the sea. She descended into the dragon's palace, where the jewel of Menko Fuhai shone brilliantly. But the dragon fiercely guarded his precious treasure. A desperate struggle began between the fragile human and the mighty dragon. The battle left Tamamo gravely wounded. Her limbs were torn, her strength failing. Yet with her last resolve, she drew her dagger and cut across her own breast. There, within the wound, she hid the jewel. With her final strength, she rose back to the surface of the sea. On the shore, Fuhito pulled in the rope, and before him appeared the broken body of Tamamo, bloodied but still cradling the treasure she had secured. Please, she whispered, make Fusasaki the heir of your house. Then she placing the jewel of Menko Fuhai into his hands. Tamamo closed her eyes forever in Fuhito's embrace. Fuhito, heartbroken, laid her to rest at Shido Temple. He named the place the training ground of death, so her memory would never fade. Then he returned to the capital with their little boy. That boy, Fusasaki, would one day rise to greatness, becoming a powerful minister and the founder of the northern house of the Fujiwara clan, the family line that shone brightest in Japan's history. Tamamo's last wish was fulfilled, and her death not in vain. This story has lived on through legend. Ukiyo-e prints, kabuki plays, and even traditional no chanting. The name Tama-tori Hime can be translated as the jewel-taking lady. Today, the word hime is often understood as princess, but in this story, it simply means a beautiful woman. She was not royalty. She was an ama, a woman of the sea, an ordinary commoner working in one of the harshest professions. Isn't this a touching story? The strength of woman who dives naked into the raging sea to face the dragon god, the devotion of the wife, risking her life to fulfill her husband's wish, and on top of this, the courage of a mother giving everything for the future of her child, born from a lord, yet raised in poverty. Perhaps this legend reflects the hardships of the common people in those days, the deep gap between rich and poor, and the simple wish of a mother that her child might rise above and live a better life. It's a powerful story reflecting the struggle that many common people faced then and still are facing now. What would you do for your child and family? Please share your thoughts in the comments. Thank you very much for watching today. Bye! またね!